But looking back, she always battled and grappled and struggled with depression, severe depression, and social anxiety and everything that comes with it, right? So she was 27 when she passed. So June 14, 2021. Yeah. And, one thing I would say that she didn't have was friends. I think because of her low self-esteem, she didn't think that people would like her. She just didn't have friends, and it's nothing on her end. Like, it's not like she's not funny, she's not loving. She's an amazing person, which I think is so unfortunate that people didn't get to see, and she didn't get to see that. She's so artistic. She had one of her poems or writings was posted in a magazine for teens in 7th grade. Something about something Cinderella. And I think just reading and through and looking at her artwork, you can feel the kind of person she is. Like, so deep and so lovely. Her handwriting is so cute. She has so many different ones. She's always writing like little cute things like, oh, blueberry pancakes on a Sunday morning, and she would draw the little cute icons. Let's see what else. She makes a lot of memes. She's just funny, like okay, I think she's really funny. Yeah, I think you would know. Not know like if they're gonna do it or not, but just know that if they're depressed, right? They're like hard to get out of bed, like all those, DSM symptoms. But for suicide itself is like they seem like content. Like when she left, like she looked content, like, yep, I made up my decision. Like, so even though they look like normal, quote unquote, bro, like go with them, Like that day I felt kind of guilty because she asked if I could take the bus with her. I was like, oh no, like my friend's driving me. You want to come? And she's like, nah. So then I was like thinking, like, what if I went with her, right? Took the bus with her, because she didn't end up taking the bus. She took an Uber to Fort Lee, where she, I don't know which specific, but it was like some white powder thingy that she took. So I'm a therapist, right? So hearing my clients, they talk about the psych ward is not fun. Actually, it's like they never want to go back. And that's what my sister said too in her last few weeks when she was alive. She was, again, the psychiatrist, like, you got to go to the psych, you got to check yourself in. It's a emergency, like you're in psychosis. And she was like, no, I don't want to. I don't want to. And she looked me in the eye. I was like, oh, why? Like, why not? Like, you need to. And she's like, you don't know what it feels like to be in there. And then I was like, okay, I backed off. I was like, all right, this is her life. I can't force her to go to the ER. So yeah, unfortunate. She was so ashamed of talking about it. She would never want, and my mom too, so ashamed. Like, that's the biggest part I noticed is the shame. There's incredible shame. So then you don't talk about it, and then you think that you're, hopeless and all that, right? I made a short film for her. And my mom was like, why would you do that? No, don't do that. Like, so against it, because then that would mean that it's acknowledged that she did pass by suicide. So against it. And I was like infuriated, because I'm like, one of the big reasons she probably did it because she felt shame, and you're here continuing the fucking chain of shame. Hello, did you not learn anything from this? Depression is a disease. It's not something you choose. So it's not like, oh, I want to die by suicide. Like, you know what I mean? It's not like a super active choice. It's the last option, honey. Like, God, like, I feel like I'm talking to myself and just everyone. Like, we have to understand that's not what they want. They're just consumed in this disease that just takes them into another psychosis reality. They want to live. It's just their reality has been already so hell. Like, they can't. It's yeah. I know it's like sometimes I feel like I have to fight for my life. So maybe, other people can relate to that. Like, why do we have to try so hard just to exist or want to exist? But another thing is like feelings come and go. So in the terrible, terrible, darkest moments of our lives, it will still pass. And it might, who knows, it might come again. For me, I'm actively surrendering that. That's not in my control. I can do every single thing amazing, and I can still suffer with this. I also struggle with like depression and anxiety and all of that. So what I would say is do not be ashamed. Number one, always don't be ashamed. Number two, talk to close friends, talk, see a therapist, psychiatrist, anything you need. It's a disease. Hello. It's like if someone had cancer, what, are you not gonna like, you're just gonna hide? No, like, yeah. So, try to normalize. And then number three is know your support, find support. It's not so black and white, like, oh yeah, like that's a sin and you're gonna go to hell. Like, I think at the end of the day, as I get to know God more, trust his heart, I believe his character isn't like that. It's much more understanding and gracious, and he's the one who wants us so badly, right? And I also see Jing seeking God so much. I don't think God would ever close a door on someone who is so keen to want to know him, I know her heart was always like open, and even reading her journals and the books that she would like take notes, annotate, like God, Jesus, like she was seeking God, like 1000%. I know her heart. And just because it doesn't look like a Christian that goes to church every Sunday, bro, like I'm sure God sees their heart, he's not limited to a building. And in her letter to us, in it does say, I trust in God. And so, I think it's a whole nother topic of like, oh, agreeing with what she did, right or wrong, all that, whatever. I'm just here to say that's what she expressed, and that's what I saw in her, right? So I do have hope that I will see her again in heaven.